Welcome to another help desk training video. Today we're going to talk about Outlook. We always talk about Outlook. Then we're going to talk about Teams. We're going to talk about Zoom. And then we're going to talk about some possible memory leaks and how to go about resolving those. Well, at least we're going to try. So let's see what happens. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Irvin, also known as Kobo Man. Welcome to Tier 2 Help Desk Training. Before we begin, please do me a favor in the comment below. Just say hello, hi, or present. Sort of like a roll call in the class. All right, thank you very much for doing that. I appreciate that. That just lets me know that people are interested in this type of content. That's all. Oh, I see a lot of tickets from Tracy Moore. Thank you, Tracy. You're the true MVP, as they say, most valuable player. I really appreciate you submitting all of these issues. All right, here we go. Teams. Zoom in issue. Good afternoon. I was on campus yesterday for the first time since I was promoted, or I'm sorry, since I was prompted to change my password. I plugged into the network via Ethernet for updates to take place, which is all good. You're supposed to do that, so that's good. This morning I struggled to connect to the Teams breakout sessions. It would attempt to connect and then time out. Once I finally connected, my video did not work. I'm having the same issue with Zoom, although it seems to be more complex with Zoom. So for those people who don't know, Teams and Zoom is very similar type of software that lets you have virtual video meetings. When I try to join a meeting, either one, I am starting or joining one sent to me, I'm able to get in, but the video won't start. Once I click on anything, share screen, mute, or enable videos, etc., Zoom freezes and says it's not responding. And it says here, I am unable to end Zoom call by clicking leave or end. I have to press Ctrl-Alt-Delete to bring up the task manager and can leave, and then can leave the meeting. I had a call with Zoom tech support today, and they were unable to resolve the issue. I also worked with CCBC tech support. I'm assuming this is for the company you work for, who was unable to resolve the issue as we couldn't maintain a connection on Zoom for him to be able to control it. And it says here, I have uninstalled, reinstalled Zoom on my computer, and I have the latest version. So the issue is actually not with either Teams or Zoom. It's most likely with the network connection at the campus. And the good indicator of this is I was on campus yesterday for the first time, right? For the first time since I was prompted to change my password. Now, this is just coincidental. You know, the fact that you were prompted to change the password, this is just coincidental. But it's good to think about things that recently happened. But since the issue is with what appears to be some kind of connection issue, I wouldn't worry about password changing and all that. And it says, I plugged into network via Ethernet for the updates to take place. So this is a clue here. This whole sentence here is a clue. What also could be the issue is that if your computer wasn't on the network and maybe some updates like software updates, patches, this and that require you to be directly plugged into network. I mean, I don't know. This is just an educated guess. It could be that as soon as you connected, the updates started to take place, which can slow things down, including, you know, video issues when it comes to viewing or streaming data, whether it's Teams or Zoom. So the issue is if the updates take place, if the updates start to take place, chances are that it's taking up the bandwidth, and we don't know what kind of bandwidth that you might have at your network that you're connecting to. And you can simply test this by just going to Google and typing bandwidth test, you know, bandwidth test speed, and you can do a speed test. And this is the first one that comes up, which is the whatchamacallit, Google ones. And you do the bandwidth test, and this is the download speed first. So you're gonna need download and upload speed at the same time. You can, and here, this is what I'm getting right now. These are, you know, this is really good. You don't need more than, I'd say 10 to 15 for a solid session of Zoom or anything else. And you need at least 10 up or down in minimum, in my opinion. Anything below that, you can expect lag, bad connection, whether it's audio or video. Also check the task manager and look to see what's taking up a lot of CPU if the updates are being pushed. So if the updates are being pushed, chances are there's a lot of CPU power going on, and then there's a lot of writing to the disk. If you look at this column here, you'll see a lot of writing. This is almost nothing here. This is just happening because Edge is open and just system processes. You could also look at the performance, see if there is anything going on that stands out. You know, like let's say you're running out of RAM or something like that. Also check the network speeds to see how fast it's going, and you know, see how much is being used, I should say. If this is maxed out, like here, you know, 300 on average kilobits per second is less than 1 megabit per second, and in my speed test here I have 148 megabits and also 64, so it's not issue here. So if it looks like this, then it's fine, but start with bandwidth speed test, and then to see if there is anything in the background taking up the processing power, and I would start from there, because to me this is most likely not anything else, because we got the same issue in Zoom and Teams. I hope that's easy to understand. I will just leave a note, and I would say in this case I would look into network speed issues or local updates using a lot of processing power to, yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. It's, you know, chances are that local updates are using a lot of processing power. This, I'm going to say this sometimes can happen when you connect to the network while being away or etc. And I hope that comes across as understandable. What I mean is that, you know, if you haven't plugged your computer into the network, into the company's network, which controls your updates and everything else, then chances are it can suddenly start to install updates while you connect for the first time. And this may be just coincidental, the way you phrase it here. You know, where it says, I was on campus yesterday for the first time since I was prompted to change my password. It's probably not related to changing of the password, but the fact that it's, you know, I was on campus yesterday for the first time. It could mean to me, as in, you know, somebody who just kind of reads this, it could mean that you weren't on campus for a while. You know, I don't know. I'm just guessing, you know. But I would look into these issues that I've stated here. And you can let me know if the issue is resolved. I will keep it open. Sure, why not? All right. And we got a ticket from Christian. Outlook contacts duplicated. Outlook contacts duplicate. So there are duplicate contacts in Outlook. How to fix Outlook contacts duplicates. Contacts duplicates. I don't know why that was so hard for me to say. Contacts, because there are two S's with two consecutive words, so I struggled. Anyways, let's get to this. So Outlook. Let's open up Outlook. Here's our Outlook, and let's look at the contacts. And now we can just simply click on address book to view our contacts. And what's going on is, I'm assuming, is that you see duplicate contacts in here, right? This is your address book in Outlook. Now, if I go back to this here and it says, you know, how to fix Outlook contacts that are duplicate. I mean, which kind of Outlook? Are you talking about a desktop Outlook? Are you talking about mobile Outlook, like on your phone, on your iPhone or your Android? But either way, that typically happens when you import contacts from multiple sources, right? So let's say you have Outlook on your iPhone, or you know, you want to export those and import them later or something like that, or you are importing contacts from a different email provider. Let's say you're you're importing contacts from Gmail, for example, or any other email services. So you export those contacts and then you suddenly want to import them into Outlook. If you're doing it from multiple sources, then you may have multiple and duplicate contacts. Now, unfortunately, once you import them, the only way to get rid of them is to manually go in and select them and just press delete. Just press delete on your keyboard. Select it and press delete. I'm not going to do it here because I don't want to delete my contacts. But that's when typically this happens. So in order to avoid duplicate contacts, make sure you only import your contact list once, not multiple times. And this can happen on the phones too. You know how like when you change your phone and suddenly you move your SIM card, you put it in your phone and then you import contacts that are basically Google based, right? They come through Google, but you also import contacts that are on your SIM card. That's kind of why this happens, right? So you have to make sure you don't import from multiple sources. If you're going to sync and import your contacts through Google and just let Outlook or Google, but in this case we're talking about Outlook, once you connect to that account, it should be able to sync your new contacts, and therefore you shouldn't have to re-import them manually. So if it's connected to a business environment where Outlook is designed to carry over your contacts, then you shouldn't have to do it anyways. So if you're exporting them manually and trying to import them again, then you may get this issue. However, once you're importing into Outlook, Outlook has a built-in checker to see if there are duplicate contacts, and for those reasons you can tell it to replace or delete the duplicates or whatnot. Like if somebody is also sharing their contacts, this could also cause the duplicate contacts to appear. Let's say you have some of the same contacts and you share your contact with somebody else, you send them an invitation like this, all right? Then they might have duplicate contacts. Why? Because they're sharing their contacts as well, and there's a really good chance that you have the same contacts already. And in this case, if you pay attention to here, let's say I open up an address book, you look at all of these people here that are already here. I did not add any of these manually. These are all people that came up every time that I either sent them an email or I happen to be part of the same group, this email address. And like for example, he's part of finance group, and all the people in that distribution, in that distro list, will appear as contacts in here. So, these are all things you have to think about, but make sure you do it once and not try to duplicate yourself when it comes to creating duplicate content. Again, if you see duplicate ones, go in, select them, press the delete on your keyboard or Control D. Either of those would work. All right. So I'm going to say, I've never talked to Christian, so I'm going to say, hello, Christian. My name is Irvin. This is just me introducing myself because I've never spoken to this person before. With PC support, in order to avoid duplicate contacts, make sure you import from a single source. Make sure you import contact list from a single source. Outlook should detect if the same contacts already exist. This is when you can tell it to not copy the duplicates. Irvin. I hope that helps. Let's see, hello Christian, my name is Irvin with PC support. In order to avoid duplicate contacts, make sure you import contact list from a single source, right? Outlook should detect if the same contacts already exist. This is when you can tell it to not copy the duplicates. To remove duplicates, you can select each one and press the delete key on the keyboard. So this issue is usually, I mean, it could be for tier 1, you know, because this is more like a how-to, but that's okay. I will leave this ticket. Well, now I will close this ticket. I'm going to say add internal note provided how to instructions. Closing ticket. Closing ticket. There it is. So I'm going to close it. Okay. Sorry, I didn't have other, you know, I didn't feel like exporting contacts and then trying to re-import them and then create. You get what I mean. So, anyways, error on screen from Tracy Moore. I tell you what, Tracy, you are certainly MVP. I appreciate you. I almost said VIP. Well, that is VIP, but you know, very important person. Yeah, you're also VIP and MVP. Error on screen. I get this error on my screen. I don't know why my memory utilization is so high. I don't have anything major open. So this is actually a good point. I haven't seen the screenshot yet or anything like that, but you can have high memory utilization for issues or some programs that need to be updated. Like there is a glitch in the program, there is some kind of a memory leak. It's usually referred to memory leak if you have high memory utilization for no reason. This can happen with any program, any program, and it's usually fixed by what they call a hotfix. But let's see if this is even the same thing. Oh, okay. So we got. Oh, can I zoom into this thing? Here we go. Yes, I can. It's a little blurry, but I can see a little bit. Yeah, I don't know if this is a Jira thing. The ticketing system itself. It's ultra wide screen, so I can't really tell. Well, it's very blurry. I'm gonna have to actually get closer to the. I'm gonna have to get closer to the screen to see this. Yeah, that's high memory. It kind of looks like it's 22 gigabits. I'm sorry, not gigabytes, gigabytes used out of 24. Yeah, that's extremely high. Well, um, so this pop-up here, I know you can't see it, it's very blurry, but what that means usually is that desktop application has recommended, uh, okay, I can't read it, but it says something about a thread exception. Please send a screenshot to the following error to your organization. It's a help desk, and it basically says not enough memory resources available. So what I would actually want to see, and please respond to me, because I really want to see this, is that go to processes and see which program is actually using this. Of course, unfortunately, a virus will act just like this too. So I'm going to say, and this could be a virus, but it could also be a, I'm going to say program memory leak. Let me check this again. She doesn't have a whole lot open that I can at least tell from the taskbar. It doesn't look like it. She just got Office and it looks like Adobe PDF open. Yeah, that's nothing. That's nothing. I mean, Excel can sometimes take up a lot of memory, but not. I don't think this is it. So this could also be a memory program leak. You should check processes from the task manager to see which program is using this memory. I'm going to say RAM in parentheses for educational purposes. Yeah, please let me know if that helped. I'll keep this ticket open. All right, so I've got some tickets I need to actually follow up, so let's do that. We will certainly get to these other tickets. We have lots of tickets, which means more videos, which is great. Let me know if you're willing to submit tickets as well. That helps, creates more videos. So we've got a couple of tickets that are still open that I'm going to see if there is any response on. This is from Javier, a ticket we talked about. I want to say maybe a last video when I send. Oh no, remember this? If you're, let me know if you actually remember this. If you're a hardcore follower, you will remember this. This is a weird one. When I said when somebody sends or forward emails, an email that has PDFs will create automatically these WMZ files, and I suggested, it was really weird one. I said that I think the issue is with the customer's computer. They most likely do not have the PDF reader installed. That's one possible issue, but I think actually, and this is what I told him as well, just in case the email client is compressing, zipping PDFs, and this can happen if there is a limit of how big of an attachment you can send. Some email clients will do this. Then it might be getting zipped into a smaller compressed size, so that way it can be sent via email. And Javier responded. Thank you, Javier, for responding to this. And he says, thank you, this works. All right. That's always good to hear. I'm going to say issue resolved with, I'm going to pretend like I've sent them a knowledge base article. Why not? Although I didn't, but essentially what I wrote is could be considered an article. So I'm going to pretend that this was what happened. I'm gonna reply to Javier. Thanks, Javier, for the reply. All right, always good to see that my suggestions are helpful. Okay, let's go back to queues and assign to me and Skype login issues. This is the one from the previous video. I want to see if there is any response. No response. That's okay. This is the one where somebody was having issues with Skype Business. They tried their phone and desktop and saying it's having trouble connecting to the server. And I said below are possible causes, which is no internet application version, possible VPN connections. And every time you see, connection, like it literally says here, we're having trouble connecting to the server. Well, it's a connection issue. So there's, that's all there is to that. I'm going to close the ticket. And yeah, again, if you're working help desk or working tickets, make sure you thoroughly note them. And this is what you would have to do before you resolve them and make sure to resolve this and that. I've said this so many times, but since I want to move on, I'm going to just close it, because this help desk ticketing system is for training purposes, right? There's no real customer on the other end to complain about something, you know what I mean? Otherwise, just make sure you're thorough. And let me see. I think I'm going to leave it at that. That's 3 tickets that we worked. On average, I do work on 3 tickets every video. And there are extra, thanks to Tracy and Javier, there are extra tickets in here. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do 4 next time, okay? I'll talk about that. The only reason I'm pausing right now is because I don't want the tickets to disappear. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, so I'm going to leave it at 3 tickets for now. But then again, we did talk about possible multiple issues that could be causing this, which you can multiply. This could multiply into the two or multiple tickets, issues, this and that. Anyways, I don't know. I'm gonna shut up before I start to stumble over my own tongue. You know what I mean? All right. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Sorry about the delayed video release again. I recently started working a new job, and that's been going great for me. So I'm happy about that. But I gotta find. I'm finding extra time to do this as well. So all right. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day. Best wishes to you and your family. Take care. Bye bye.